When you're ready.
Animal research. We looked at animal research through a couple different lenses: ethical, environmental, futuristic, and scientific. Animal testing has several negative impacts. Ethics. Animal testing is unethical, and this is because animals can suffer. Animals suffer when they are put through these experiments. Both humans and animals are experimented on, but the significant difference is that humans can consent to this. Animals don't have that option. People often try and justify animal experimentation by saying that it'll save humans. But if it'll save people, then why aren't humans experimented on? They're more accurate test subjects and we can learn more from them. This is because humans consider animals less significant or less than people. But the truth is, all species should be treated with equality. Almost every living organism has the capacity to feel joy, which in turn means that they can suffer. Peter Singer, a world-renowned ethicist, said that if a being can suffer, there can be no moral justification for refusing to take that animal's suffering into consideration. No matter what the nature of the being, the principle of equality requires that suffering be counted equally with like suffering. A perfect example of this is the Dray's test. The Dray's test is a test in which an animal's eyelid is held open so that a concentrated chemical or substance can be put directly into the eye. This is an image from the Dray's test. That's a before and an after. Animals often die from this experiment and almost always results in blindness. It's extremely painful, and animals are given no anesthesia or pain relief during this. Some other common tests are LD and LC50. These are short-term toxicity tests. LD stands for lethal dose and LC for lethal concentration. 50 represents the percentage of animals that die during this experimentation.
Scientific testing on animals has several harmful effects on the environment. During animal testing, there are several resources being used, and the toxins that are given off lead to the pollution of air, water, and land. Testing on animals requires exact specifications in order to maintain a safe, sterile, and cool environment, and they also need constant air ventilation. A lot of energy is used in order to maintain this environment. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, the quantity of energy consumed by research animal facilities is up to 10 times more than office spaces on a square meter basis. This much energy being used leads to the greenhouse gases being given off, which can cause pollution of air and water. After materials are used, they must be discarded of. A lot of these materials are not recyclable, so they end up in landfills, which leads to the pollution of land. Catherine Groff, a research associate from the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, says carcass disposal methods include rendering, landfill disposal, and incineration. Some tissues that are discarded of may not carry diseases, but can contain traces of known toxic and radioactive chemicals. Air pollution from studying is produced during the incineration of animals, and the supplies that could also be contaminated. Smoke and particles including mercury and lead are released during the incineration and can get into air and water. Not only is this harmful for humans, but it also can affect animals who breathe in this air and drink this contaminated water.
Animal experimentation is unscientific. Companies are required to send in scientific data to agencies to be able to sell their products. These companies are sending in incorrect data, causing their products to not follow correct data or scientific data. Scientists can favor different animals, species of animals over another. These animals include mice, rats, non-human primates, and more. Scientists choose these animals because of their ability to accept change. But in the long run, they don't think of this how this could affect them in the long run, animals or humans. According to What is a Lab Animal article, one scientist believes that using sea sponges is an accurate alternative to animal testing. Animal experimentation is used to promote health sciences. Around 115 million mice are used annually. These experiments give people the right to believe these scientists without giving much thought. They could be given wrongful information and think that it is safe for them. This could lead to injury or even death.
According to the Human Society, it is estimated that more than 100 million animals are used in experiments each year in the United States. The reason why these numbers are a lot is because during experimentation, scientists don't usually get the answers they need immediately, so they keep trying until they acquire what they need. The excessive use of animal jeopardizes the future of these creatures in the future, causing them to go extinct. Not only does animal testing/research affect population, but it also affects their environmental health and animals, including humans. Recent studies and evidence show that the associated use of chemicals and supplies contribute to the population as well as adverse impacts on biodiversity and public health. Instead of helping humans, these labs are making matters worse by creating unhealthy and unstable environments, which impacts all living things in it. Seeing how much pollution animal testing has contributed to the environment, it scares me to see how the future will look like if we don't put an end to this right now. Yes, the environment that we live in right now isn't at 100% given global warming and other factors, but that doesn't mean that we continue to destroy the environment. Animal experimentation is something that can be controlled, meaning it's unnecessary and can be stopped. Experimentation of products on animals is unnecessary because alternatives are available. We can improve the future by using alternatives like organ on chip, which is basically an artificial organ, and computer modeling. Some of these alternatives have been tested and tried out, and others haven't. Many cosmetics companies have come up with better ways to test their products without the use of animal subjects. Computers can be used to simulate and estimate potential damage that a product or chemical can cause. Human tissues and cells have also been used to examine the effects of harmful substances. Therefore, we shouldn't make excuses to us why animal testing cannot be put on. This is a graph that I found. Shows the numbers of animal use throughout the years, and you can see in 1973, the numbers are high. I think that's 1,500,000. Compared to 2015, the numbers are much lower. So it shows like population decreasing. And then these are just like different kinds of animals that are used and some changes.
Animal testing is not acceptable. However, there are alternative means for similar results. These are our citations. Thank you.
All right, Nelson, describe how the content of the team presentation was changed as a result of group discussion.
It became more refined. So we started out with a lot of big and broad ideas, and through talking about it, we were able to narrow it down to some more specific subjects.
Okay, thank you. Shay, what is a way in which your team's resolution or conclusion makes you think differently about your own individual research?
Well, Carly talked a lot about how scientists are faking data in order to get like the results that they want, and I think we also could have talked about some of the benefits that animal testing has, such as the medical breakthroughs that it's led to.
Okay. Ivy, in what way did you improve your ability to work with a group as a result of this project?
Well, I can say this. From the beginning, it was kind of like, kind of mixed up. Like we weren't communicating, we weren't all at the same level, but as we continued working together, we started to agree on the same point.
Okay. Carly, reflecting on your colleagues' work, which one had the greatest impact on your overall understanding of the problem your group identified?
I think Shay's argument was really good because she talked about the environment and what animal testing does to the environment and polluted water, like all the greenhouse gases that go into the environment. It really makes me think about what animal testing is doing to the environment that can ultimately hurt us.
Okay. Thank you. Another round of applause.